proceed to consenting adults, we can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution? Every problem?
Who wanna fight now? Put the mic down. Grab a flute and then play that shit at the White House. Last minute they lucky they missed a shutdown. Running into Kevin, he hitting you in the guts now. What the fuck is your problem? Giving points to Bin Laden doesn't mean that you conscious. Oh my god, he's a prophet. What the fuck are you on, bitch? What is it, the weed too strong like a Snoop defection? Motherfuckers wanna sit out in the next election. All these bad campaigns get a quick suspension. Brands run away from crazy like they Kanye exes. You can watch them exit when they talking senseless with some bad intentions till they catch a sentence. Everybody in the cut till they ass arrested, trying to clean it up a little before China gets here. I look bad but I'm different. Y'all just talking, don't listen. Y'all look fake in that filter. Guess that deal isn't shit then. Propaganda, propaganda, they don't like when it hit them. Everybody go crazy. Write my speech when I win this. Come on, what the fuck you even trying to ask me? If I'm trying to spit it, I ain't looking for a gas fee. Looking for a deal, wanna tell me that it's happening. All I see is Diddy looking nervous with the papers out from Cassie. Holy shit, did you read this? Blown up cars and more secrets. Tupac fans are just eating allegations, we seen them. Lined up all in that sequence. Get them to the Greek, fucking aged like milk in the radio. Michael voted for a fascist cause he ratio. Paying $8 to anti-Semitic daily post Elon by the company and then you let him go. Sam, something must have happened in the ass like the internet policing every Pokemon snack. Like a Zaslav killing every movie for the tax. Like I pull my shit right now. Ben vs Candace, while the wide throw hands. Getting looked at more than a Diddy case. What the fuck's your plan? Talking shit about brand, so Pedro first fam. Where the hell is all the money, George? OnlyFans. What the fuck is your problem? I look bad, but I'm different. No, George, you're just bad. You look fake, go to prison. Everyone has to ask. Propaganda, propaganda, they don't like when it hit them. Everybody go crazy. Write my speech when I win this, bitch. Ooh, too soon? No, not sooner. You should have gone to jail months ago. Bro, you look like an evil American Girl doll come to life. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, please punch that like button so fucking hard that it turns into pocket change that you can use at any reasonable arcade machine within your area. And then leave a comment on your favorite bar. If you haven't seen the new Scott Pilgrim anime on Netflix, go just watch it. Trust me, it is what you think, and it's not what you think in the best way. And it has like the whole cast from the original film, so it's awesome. So it's been a surprisingly like very, very crazy week. But before we get into that, I do want to tell you about a few quick things. So first off, we released the 4th episode of Zaid Talks. I've been doing this series called Zaid Talks, where it's basically just a breakdown like this, where I talk about a really important subject or something that's just happened. And I did one that I think honestly is one of the most important ones that I've ever done. How activism interacts with propaganda and everything else. Listen, I'm like really well versed in this subject. This has been kind of my work for most of my life. I worked in social media for quite a bit of time. I grew up in post 9/11 America, which was just rife with all of that. So it's one of my most important videos that I've done, and YouTube suppressed it. Before you think I'm crying wolf, our click-through rate was high, our watch time was higher than most other videos, and the only thing that was down was impressions and view count. That is like textbook YouTube is suppressing this. Like all the analytics told me this. Now maybe that YouTube is just in general trying to recommend less videos about the conflict that's going on right now. I don't think there's any malicious intent behind it. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt if that's true, but I do think it's a really, really, really important subject that we need to talk about. I really encourage you watch it. It's gonna be in the link down below. And when you're done with the video, just give that link a click and check it out. Also in a bit of more fun news, hey, remember Jack DeSena, who I mentioned last week, who's a famous voice actor? Who I wish I was. Now, I went to high school with Jack and I mentioned him in a joke last week and just kind of hit him up for old time's sake. And he hit me back, and his fucking YouTube channel is starting up, Chris and Jack. They have some really like fun sketches and everything like that. Jack is just an all around like good dude. So in addition to the Zaid Talks, I'm actually gonna link Jack's video in the description down below. Give it a watch. It's silly, it's fun. He's a fucking great dude. And it's a nice little break from the exhaustion of all of this cycle. Last few things, we're gonna be off Thanksgiving week, but we're gonna return the week after, and then we'll be back the next week with a brand new Freestyle the News and a brand new Zaid Talks and some other things. But finally, let's get into this breakdown. And the first thing I wanna talk about is Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, or Sean Combs or whatever the fuck you want to call him. Oh my God. Listen, as a hip hop artist, this speaks to me because, man, people have been feeling shady about Puffy for so fucking long. And let's go through this because, again, like I said, it is a horrific story, so I don't want to make too much light of this. Earlier this week, R&B singer Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit with some very serious allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs, her ex, and also well-known producer and owner of Bad Boy and all that, and guy who totally did not kill Tupac. He just shut up. I have the allegations here. Let's walk through some of them. Ventura alleges that Combs subjected her to serious physical abuse and human trafficking, including forcing her into sex acts with male prostitutes, which he watched and filmed for his own pleasure. She also alleges that Combs raped her. I'm not going to say the word because YouTube will demonetize this. That he asserted control over Ventura's lifestyle, her finances, like what she did. She alleged violent assaults and threats, one of them when she discussed leaving for another talent agency. And those are all horrific, absolutely heart-wrenching allegations, but there are also some very serious, kind of wild, crazy allegations in here. Now, from the lawsuit in February of 2012, Mr. Combs told Mrs. Ventura that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car and that he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. By the way, Cudi confirmed this. Like, yes, it did happen. His car did blow up. What the fuck, bro? And I should also mention, this is weeks after they supposedly caught Tupac's killer. And that guy had alleged consistently that Diddy was involved with that. And that has been like a conspiracy theory. That's like, oh man, that's kind of crazy. That's like, you think that Diddy did that? Like, come on. This blurs a lot of those lines. And obviously, all of these are alleged. They're all just accusations and things in a lawsuit. By the way, he settled that lawsuit within a fucking day. What the fuck? It took 24 hours and my man was like, pay the check. Pay it. Shut the fuck, just pay that shit. That doesn't look great, man. That doesn't look great. And obviously the reaction to this online has been, that doesn't look great, man. Mixed with some people who are being like,
man, fucking women will take everything from you. They're just gonna fucking just take everything from you.
If you are using Puff Daddy, if you're like a guy who's using Puff Daddy as like peak masculinity, let me explain to you Puff Daddy's reputation in hip hop over the last like 2 to 3 decades. People have clowned Diddy for like nearly 3 decades. Like, that's like the biggest thing. Oh, he's talented, he's an entrepreneur, but they also clown him for being soft and like fake and shit like that. 50 Cent famously talks a mad amount of shit on Diddy. So many people talk so much shit on Diddy. And again, some of it's warranted, some of it's jealousy. Diddy is talented. He's also kind of a dick, but it's also like, he's also like not the guy you cape for. Like, oh, you see, this is the latest feminazi victim. We're gonna have to wait and see in the court of public opinion if he survives this, but I don't want to minimize what Cassie went through. Listen, even though I'm clowning Diddy, these allegations are absolutely horrific, and what she had to go through is fucking unforgivable. And also, he blew up a fucking car, dude. We have to wait and see. Obviously, let me know what you guys think in the comments, but yeah, fucking wild, bro. Speaking of people getting dragged through the streets with their reputation, George Santos. This is one that a lot of people have been waiting for. Because first off, the House Ethics Committee released their investigation into George Santos, and it is super damning. It's just a, hey, get this guy the fuck out of here in its tone. Because Santos was found to have been misusing campaign funds for a litany of things, like an Hermes bag and fucking OnlyFans. Fucking OnlyFans! And obviously, when confronted with all this, Santos is just like, listen, this horrible biased report should not have been released. Also, I'm not running for re-election. What the fuck? Yes, what a biased report. Also, probably true, so you're not running for re-election. But in addition to that, a motion has been introduced to expel George Santos from the House. I'm still reeling from the OnlyFans thing. Like, bro, really? But we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure the vote's gonna come up at some point next week, so we can all just, it's gonna be the most bipartisan effort ever for everybody to just finally come together in this time of massive division and be like, yo, fuck George Santos, that guy's fucking weird. So we tend to talk a lot about AI on the show just because that's in the fucking news all the time. I do think ethical AI, something that works in symbiosis with people rather than as a parasite, is a good thing. And if you're listening to the beat right now, that's what I kind of want to talk about. That's an example of ethical AI. That's our sponsor today, Soundraw. And stick around to the end of this section because I do have a discount code so you can try it out. Listen, there are tons of chord generators and different types of AI plugins and programs out there for music. But what I really do like about Soundraw is how much of a tool it is for musicians and creators to work in tandem with them instead of against them. It's really easy to jump on and start creating a beat using your ear to flex it and kind of shape it the way you want to, and you can use that for multiple different applications. If you're a creator looking for just basic stock music, Soundraw is a great way to create some stock music and just turn it around very quickly and also kind of tailor it to your needs as a creator. But as you know, for a lot of musicians, it's not going to do all of the work for you, so that's why it's also an amazing tool for DJs and artists. We all know about Splice being a great tool for samples. It's a great way for DJs to kind of create their own samples and melodic pieces very, very quickly to jump off and be more creative, or for rappers to come up with something that's freestyle or quick and bite-sized. Again, I like that it is a tool and not a replacement for musicians. My favorite thing is with a subscription to Soundraw, you're all licensed up. And if you know, with clearing samples and going through all of these hoops and bells and whistles, it's very hard to find samples that you don't have to like license all the time. It's a really great way to interpolate something, and honestly, it just opens up music a lot more for other people. And it's one of the first kind of AI plugins that I've seen do that. So if you're a musician or a creator trying to expand your game with a little bit of an AI assistant, go to soundraw.io and get 10% off a premium plan with the code ZED. Oh, that's my name. Get 10% off that premium plan and start trying some new shit with your music today. Again, ethical AI and symbiosis. This is a great tool for musicians and beat makers, and even me as a producer and writer. All good things. But speaking of bad ideas that have metastasized, you know who hasn't taken down bad ideas that have metastasized? Elon Musk. Because on Friday, multiple advertisers, including Disney, Apple, IBM, fucking IBM, and the fucking European Commission, bro, all suspended their paid advertisement campaigns on X. All of this was because Musk replied to an anti-Semitic tweet that kind of espouses replacement theory with the words, "What you are actually speaking is the truth." And that is fucking ridiculous. Not surprising. Listen, if you've seen the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail with the Black Knight losing all of his limbs being like, oh, it's no big fucking deal. That's what this is. Twitter already has a fucking revenue problem. And the best thing they have is ads, and their ads aren't really great either. And in response to all these major advertisers suspending campaigns, Musk was like, I'm going
to launch a thermonuclear lawsuit on Media Matters.
Oh, really, motherfucker? As I've said before on this show, prior to getting this show and my gig with Phil, I worked at Apple Music. It was a crazy gig. It was something where I was broke, and then all of a sudden I had this crazy job at Apple doing social media for Apple Music. I got to meet the whole social media team and be a part of that ecosystem. And there are things that I cannot talk about, or I just can't talk about them. But one thing that I will mention is that there may or may not have been a conversation where me and somebody else who was big there were talking, and a bunch of people in the room were like, you know what? Why the fuck are we doing anything on Twitter and Instagram? Why don't we just move all that shit to TikTok? Because Twitter isn't really doing shit for us. I've explained time and time again how fucking useless Twitter is for a lot of brands. Like, guys, like, this isn't like an opinion. At a certain point, it just, metric by metric, Twitter is not nearly as useful for a majority of brands as other platforms are. If you're fighting games or sports or news, fucking sure. But as of this taping, a lot of news from Twitter is cribbed from other platforms. It's not even the place that breaks news anymore, and it's losing revenue, it's losing advertisers, the environment's toxic. I have mostly left Twitter. I do most of my posts on the community tab, which is pretty fucking cool, but it is undeniable at this point that Musk is torpedoing this platform. He doesn't know how to manage a social media platform. Already, picking a political or ideological side when you run a platform with both ideologies there means you're going to fucking inevitably just destroy whatever balance you had on that platform. is he's not an absolutist for free speech, saying that he's going to ban people who say certain phrases. Nobody's looking for logic here at this point. So this isn't like super surprising, but it is significant because listen, these advertisers were only on Twitter because they have to be. Okay, this is sunk cost. We have to fucking be here. We have to deal with this. We have to go through all of this shit. And for all of these brands to suspend paid advertising on this platform is significant because a lot of them don't even want to be there in the first place. It means that whatever reason they had for being there is immaterial. And when the brand is that damaged, it's very hard to recover. So we'll have to wait and see, but we kind of don't need to wait and see. Twitter is dying. There's no, like, you can't argue it at this point. It's dying. It doesn't have the relevance it used to have. Thank God. And you know what? Fuck Elon Musk. But what do you guys think? Maybe both sides are wrong about the Twitter thing. What's the nuanced take on Elon fucking co-signing anti-Semitic memes? But anyway, it's been an insane week. I do want to say a couple things before we bow out. If you know, we have this service called TooSoonCrew.com where I post secret videos, secret songs. I actually just posted what we're probably going to use as a single with a music video and everything like that there. So you can go check that out. But also what we've started doing is we've started doing daily updates to all of the news that's going on right now, where we gather all the news for the day and some of the most relevant articles you can read, and we just kind of post them. All of them are linked with a headline and some relevant information. And so that way, if you're trying to go through and figure out what's going on in the day and you're like, oh man, I don't know where to go, how things have developed, because again, news switches out really, really fast and it's hard to keep up. You can quickly go there and you'll have a link to everything you need. And we're gearing up for a lot more content just around TooSoonCrew.com and even around this channel. I'm really excited. I want to do some recap videos, and also we are going to be working on a freestyle of the year at the end of the year. So look out for that. And just in general, thank you for rocking with me on this channel. I really, during this fucking insane cycle, this has been like, I can't tell you guys how much I really appreciate this community. Like it means a lot. But anyway, that's it for today's show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the newest episode of Let 'Em Cook, which will eventually be on this channel pretty soon, actually. And Zed Talks. And anyway, my name is Tabani, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!